So welcome everybody to this video where we are going to be going over our SoulSideOut 18-week mediumship certification course. Lou Ann and myself have been doing this for 3 years now, Lou? 4 years?
Yes.
And we love it. We love what we do. We love each other, and I think that that's what makes it very fun. In collaboration, we do realize our strengths, and we do not we give each other the platform to bring forward our strengths. And I think, Lou, that's what really works in our course, is that we do care a lot about the students, and that we'll say, you know what, Lou, you're so much more efficient in that area. Go for it. You know, like in always keeping in mind the students, you know?
We're very different people, you and I, but we absolutely love each other and love what we're doing. And because we're so different, I think that brings a whole different aspect to the mediumship, because it's like it is having two teachers at the same time. Two different points of view, two different ways of doing things. I'm a firm believer, and I think you're the same, that there's no absolute right way, absolute wrong way to do mediumship. And I think what we bring together is that we help each student to find out what works for them, what's their style, what's going to resonate with them. And I think that's why a lot of the students we've had have been very successful.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that the way that we're looking at mediumship now is definitely been a lot of fun for both of us. I think that a lot of pressure has fell off because of the fact—
A lot of crazy times.
Yeah, I think a lot of the pressure has fell off now because we don't demand from the spirit world. You know, we just allow. And I think that in allowing, we have allowed ourselves to grow as teachers for the better of our mediumship as well as our students, and not say, hey, this is the right way, this is how you do it, this is how it should be. We just say, what is your way? What is your type of mediumship? What is your beautiful? You know, what works for you? I think the beautiful part, I think, about the course is that they get us together and they get us separate. We teach every other week. So one week is you, the following week is me. And so they have many different views based on our journey. Because, oh my God, how many years have you been in the spiritual, on the spiritual journey, Lou?
I had to think about it, and I think this year will be my 20th year of when I first made that big leap of faith and said, okay, let's see where this goes. Now, for probably the first 10 years of it, it came in dribs and drabs. I would, study a little bit. You got to remember, 20 years ago, this kind of a form was not available. If you didn't have a spiritualist church nearby, you were really on your own. And shortly after I started, John Edward came out with the TV show Crossing Over. And that kind of opened the door to a lot of people's minds. He's a great pioneer for those of us that are now doing this all the time, to kind of give us permission to be who we are.
Sure. Absolutely. I think it's happening more and more and more. And it is the frequency shift in the earth, we are connecting more without even knowing. A lot of students are such natural students, and I think that's the key, is keeping them natural, not moving them away from that and making it mechanical or making it feel like a job. Really loving it and staying there, right, Lou? Like really loving it and staying.
Well, and it's really not a job. This is a way of life. When you embrace it, you wake up with spirit, you stay with spirit throughout the day. That's not to say, you're walking around open and talking to everybody's loved ones, but there is an open connection with guides and spirit helpers on the other side, that if we're open to it, we will hear their voice in our head.
Absolutely.
Not in your ear, in your head.
In your head, you got it. And that's very important, because sometimes they are looking for that sound that sounds like the voice of someone in the physical.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or
Right.
they're looking to see spirit with their physical eyes. And that's a big issue a lot of times, as to why they're missing things in the mediumship in the beginning, because it's stubble and they're looking for a big boom, and they're not getting the boom that they're looking for, or they're placing a title or attaching themselves to an outcome on how they should be and how they should receive, you know.
Yeah, and I think for me, early in my development, I was not aware of how subtle it could really be. And so it was the quieting and really starting to feel those little tiny things that, as you continue to develop, your psychic senses become awake. And it's not as subtle as it was when I first started. But in the beginning, yeah, for me, it was little dribs and drabs that it would come in.
Sure. So what I like about this is I had been teaching the course, and then we fell in love with each other. And we said, we're so good together, let's put this on paper. Let's put this on paper. Take what I have, add your journey into each subject and each aspect of this course. And you made it brilliant, because that is definitely a strength you have, is putting that expression on paper and then actually teaching it and understanding it. And that's how SoulSideOut came about. And so we created this based on both of our journeys and what were moments that really brought us into strong points in our mediumship development. We broke it down by beginner, intermediate, and advanced.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about why we included the topics that we did in our beginners.
I'll speak for myself. I think that many times for many people, our desire to be of help to others is to kind of escape, ignore, avoid our own issues. And I feel that the best mediums, the best healers, the best helpers are people that have taken care of their own needs, their own struggles, their own inner whatever is going on with you, and healed that. I think when you heal yourself, you're in a better place to be able to heal others. So you brought in the chakra prescription. I kind of added a few things to it, but really the beginner level is not about reading or being a medium. It's preparing you for being a medium, but it is not it's not readings and all that kind of thing. It's not about your clairs or any of that. It's really about you, understanding your own energetic body and how the energetic body works with your mediumship.
Sure. And I think that spiritual hygiene has always been something that I really, 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 really felt assisted me, and you as well. And I think that when we focus on the spirit body and the understanding of the spirit body, everything comes after that. Is it necessary for you to use the chakra prescription, or for you to use your chakras, or for you to use the mist? It's not. It doesn't bring mediumship to you.
Yeah.
You know, we know that. But it does help to balance the intensity of the healing that takes place once we start to ascend.
Yeah, and if I could equate it to everyday life, can you drive a dirty car that needs an oil change? Yes, you can. But you know, once you've washed that car, cleaned the inside, done the oil change, all that maintenance that needs to be done on the car, just the feeling alone of being in that vehicle is very different from when it's been sitting and it's got salt from the winter and if it's mine, grandkids, paper wrappers and all that stuff all over the place. Just cleaning out your car makes it feel that it is in better shape and moves easier with you.
Well, yeah,
and the same thing for your physical body.
Sure. Because think about it, the physical body, if you don't shower, you stink. Well, the spirit body stinks if you don't, really work with it and bring yourself back to your normal energetic state. That's what spiritual hygiene is. It's not bringing anything. It's keeping you in your normal energetic state. like we've said before, Luann, you're completely correct about the car. But and also, how many people walk into a grocery store, and how many people have walked in and out total in that grocery store? Many, many, many people. And all those imprints are there. Imprints are thoughts, because once you think something, you've given birth to it. It has life. Actions have life. So in the first 4 weeks of our course, Lou, can you close out your Facebook if it's open?
Yeah.
Just because I think I hear an echo. Thank you.
Oh, there might be, babe.
So on the first week here, we talk about taking the first steps on your mediumship journey. In this first week, we will cover what is medium versus psychic, spiritualism.
I still hear it. Is it gone?
Creating a sacred space, meditation, ego, protection, grounding, shielding, personal energy, trust, and boundaries, and ethics. All of those things are extremely important. I'm muted, so I don't know, love.
I don't know. There's happy music going on somewhere. I hear it too, but the only thing I have on is Zoom.
Oh, okay. I don't know that.
You found it.
I'm wondering if it's a person or not. But we cover those on week 1, which is amazing. And a lot of people don't know about spiritualism, Lou, and it's good to know, because there are networks online.
It is.
There's networks online. There might be a spiritualist church around you,
And there's international organizations that you can become a part of to get additional learning.
Absolutely. So, you definitely want to be able to understand where you're stepping into, the journey that you're taking. We talk about ego, and when we say protection, we don't talk about needing protection because you're going to be possessed. We talk about simply being responsible for self, being responsible for your energy, right? Staying pure, keeping it with yourself. All right. The second week, we talk about the aura and introduction to your chakras. So the layers of the aura, positive thinking, anything that affects your aura, which, as it covers definitely how you feel around people when you're in big groups. I think understanding the aura, Lou, it really makes you feel better as a person, because you don't feel like you're crazy.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
You understand, right? Like, oh, that's somebody else's, feelings or emotions, perhaps.
And especially if you're an empath, which some students are, some are not. But for an empath, it can be difficult to differentiate what they're feeling is this them, or is this something they're picking up from somebody else? So that the course will be helpful for you in understanding how to differentiate those two and what to do to make sure that you're not taking on other people's emotions.
Absolutely. And then we do an introduction to the chakras, which is extremely important as well. They coincide with each other. And the third week is where we attune you. So
Get chakra crazy.
Get chakra crazy. Brighten up your world with colors. So we kind of give you instructions, and we have fun, and the students get creative, and it's a lot of fun. So basically, that's the beginner's portion of our course. It is understanding, and then we do the energetic responsibility prerequisite with Melissa, so that you guys understand how to ground and how to be able to be responsible with your spiritual hygiene. Okay, especially doing this work, you're going to be going in and out, you're going to be connecting to higher frequencies, and you don't want to be drained, you don't want to be depleted. That's really what spiritual hygiene it involves as well, right? Being responsible with yourself, with your physical body, because you're now working so much more with your spirit body. So
Melissa Kubias has a wonderful understanding of energy. and how it works in mediumship, which is why we have her do the prerequisite before beginners, and then another prerequisite, which is level 2, energetic responsibility, before they go into the intermediate level, because she's great at teaching it, and so we love having her as part of the course.
Right, and I think that the reason we do it before beginners and the reason we do it again before intermediate is because you are shifting into higher frequencies upon entering level 2. And again, this is keeping in mind that you will have homework, okay, and you will have things that you'll have to do. It is to be turned in.
Every day.
You will come into level 2 of our course, which is our intermediate. And in week 1, we're bringing you into working with guides, ethics. We're talking about melding, which is extremely important, which is feeling the presence of spirit. And that's like some people will say linking with spirit, right? Where do your guides come in? Where does spirit come in? Okay. And what are things you should focus on, right, upon working in the spirit world. When we move to week 2, we talk more about our guides. So we go into specifics about our guides. What type of guides do myself and Luann work with, and how have they helped us? What is their purpose? And again, you take what resonates with you and you leave the rest behind, right? Because no matter what teacher you work with, you have to be genuine with yourself and keep yourself pure as possible. Okay. In week 2, we also talk about our clears. So our clear feeling, our clear hearing, our clear seeing, and our clear knowing. So first we talk about identifying the presence. And then once that presence is there, how do we receive the imprint? Right, Lou? How do we receive what they're giving us?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And some people come into the course saying, I'm clairvoyant, I'm clairaudient, I'm clairsentient. But really all of the clairs are important in mediumship readings. So we work with all of them. And you'll find that if you don't rely on just one, but have growth and understanding of all of them, that the information from the spirit world becomes easier for you to receive. Because you're not relying on one thing.
Sure. And then we just move in from, week 3 to 6 into talking about what's your opening ritual? What is your bottom line intention or statement of intention? What, that's like your conversation with your guides, conversation with spirit. What is the methods of reading, right? Are you going to go direct? Are you going to connect with the spirit world first and then bring it in? So we bring different methods. We don't say, hey, one method is the way. We say these are different methods. See what it feels
right.
You.
Mm-hmm. Because someone will resonate more with one person than another.
Sure, absolutely. And then we talk about frame of reference. I call it reference library as well. Mm-hmm. Spirit checks out our thoughts. How does the whole mechanics work with spirit giving us information based on their memories? Well, they check out our memories. How does that whole system work? We bring that to you guys. Symbology and structuring your reading. Okay, and we do have a final exam because we want to see where you guys are at. We don't want to say, hey, yeah, you're going to advance just because you've gotten through intermediate. No, we want to make sure that you are feeling confident and good and you have the understanding to be able to move forward into that space.
I think another thing that's important to talk about in the intermediate level is that we give you an understanding of the grief process, because as a medium, that is who you'll be working with, is people in various stages of grief. So I think it's very important to have an understanding of grief and how it can affect people, because it will affect your reading.
Absolutely. And then in advance, we get to work.
Rock and roll in advance.
Yeah, I love it. We get to work. I mean, and we bring you in and out of situations to help you understand how to navigate those situations in your readings. Beginning with what happens with the aura during the readings, what happens with souls, what's their state when they're coming in, what are the different states, continuing education, soulful mediumship versus mental mediumship. You know, what happens, what the routine should be before a reading, during a reading, and after a reading. Uh, how do you sort multiple souls coming in? How do you expand with your evidence? You know, how do you trust what you get and give what you trust? Being ethical. We talk about anesthesia, frame of reference, again, how to expand with that. We do really cool exercise that we call spirit tree for you guys to understand where you position your souls. Everybody's different, right, Lou? So I love to see that the students, when they make them.
Those that are the creative people, they love that exercise.
Yeah, it's like, oh my God, I love it. And finally, we even go as far as to prepare you if you are at this point, if you are already a working medium or you're interested in being a working medium. On week 7, we talk about starting your own business. Okay, so you know, we do try to put together things that we feel are very significant. Luann has wonderful videos that are linked to the course, as well as I have videos as well. So we have put in the time to also provide those to you guys as well. And I really do feel confident to say, Lou, that the course is affordable. I do.
I think it is.
You know,
we don't want to tell them what we paid for our first
no
course.
Listen, it was not hundreds. It was not hundreds. You know, and for myself and Luann, it was important to be obtainable, because I myself was somebody that was a mother of 5 that didn't have money. And I felt lost, Lou. I didn't, you know, at in the beginning of my journey, Luann, I didn't know there was spiritualist church, Lou. I didn't know any of that. I
didn't either.
You know, I was kind of lost. Like, where do I go? What do I do? And then when I did figure out about classes, I did not have the money. I almost did not even make Lisa Williams' class. So, you know, there's just a sense that if something's going to happen, it's going to happen. I made it there. And so that being said, Luann, right, what do we say? If you're supposed to take a course, it will feel right to you. It will be aligned with you. It will happen, and it will flow. Don't force ever taking a course because you're not really going to align with your purpose at that moment. So make sure that you really feel drawn to the course, whether it's our course or any course, and that it really is going to complement where you're at in your mediumship, you know?
I think another thing that I'd like to bring up too is that when you work with Lily and myself, we don't bring you through the course and then have a nice life. You're kind of stuck with us.
Yay!
But I mean, we continue to support you after you receive your certification. And we have put all our certified mediums now, they have their own group. We just recently started a registry of mediums so that we can share that information and get it out there for those that are ready to step into a business and to start doing readings more regularly. So there isn't a whole lot that we haven't support students in.
And I love it. You're right. You brought up a wonderful point, Lulu. Yes, it you know, we nourish you. Not only just being available to you, because we are available. If one teacher can't be available, the other one will say, well, I'll call the person because you don't have the time. I'm going to call the person based on the homework and reach out to them. We reach out to our students. How were you? What's going on? Let's expand on this. And Lou is amazing, amazing, amazing at that. She'll pull me in if she feels she needs to pull me in. And I am very appreciative of Luann, because she does keep me where I need to be in reference to foundation. I know as well that the beauty of this is we have a place where we can, once you get to the advanced level, get sitters to sit for you. So if you're a person that doesn't want to come out to your family and friends yet, you can develop. It can be completely personal, and you can get in the group. No one that is not in there can view that you're doing this.
Right.
And you have sitters. And then we also have the Parliament Crew group. Right now we're growing the SoulSideOut one, so we're hoping to have, you know, as many students as we can, so that there's people that can sit, because that is just going to be student based. But we have the Parliament Crew, where in that one you can post if you're a certified student and you're needing sitters in there. And there's people that are very helpful. They know what the group is about. So you have this place to practice. You have this place to grow. And you're totally right, Lou. It makes me feel good. And I know it makes you feel good to be that for the students, because I think
I fall in love with them. I absolutely.
Yeah, and then you miss them. 18 weeks together, 18 weeks together. And it's like, oh my God.
And it's not like 18 weeks together. It's like 18 weeks together.
And I think the beautiful part as well is that, you know, we now have created groups for certified students. So if you're a certified student, and like Luann mentioned, the registry, not only will we put you in our registry under the city, so if people are looking for a medium in the city where you live, we're also made Chicago Development Support Group, Maryland Mediumship Development Support Group. The admins in those groups live in that city and state. And I think that's beautiful because it's creating a place for you guys to grow online, but also mingle outside of here. Because what happens if we don't have electricity, we're done. We know nobody. All of this goes away. So you want to be able to create, and me and Lou talk about that all the time, you know, that connection with people as well that are evolving, because again, you might not have a spiritualist church near you. So we've created, and we're very thankful and grateful for this community that we have put together. You will gain a soul family. The chats stay up, so the students will be put in chat. You'll be put in the classroom. You can stay in the classroom. You can access all of that. It never goes away. You can stay in the chat as well if you go all the way to advance and become certified. A lot of students, right, Lou, they stay together and they keep meeting on that Thursday.
Absolutely.
They keep meeting on that Thursday or that Wednesday. And
you know, I think you and I are a work in progress because we're always asking, how can we better support not just our own community of students, but how can we support other people that may not even be our students? And that's how the whole state thing came up, that you can join that and have a group of people, a community to work with that's within the same place that you live. But it's also, how can we love and support the spirit world? What does the spirit world want from us? And we pay attention to that. So we're always trying to give guidance, give support wherever we're able to. And if we don't have the answer, we will find it for you.
We will. We really will. And I think that, you know, our course changes every year based on the reviews we get from our students. We're not afraid to change it. We're not afraid to say, well, okay, let's go this direction. Let's go that direction. And I think this year, and we are in 2018, has really, truly brought us to a place of closeness to spirit. And it's been so amazing and beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
I really, really love how they're there to love us and help us, Luann, and how for some reason that's been lost somewhere along the way. And SoulSideOut wants to bring that to you, wants to bring you closer to the spirit world. Sit with them, practice with them, be with them, let them help you with your emotions. And I like to say, ask and you shall receive, and it's the honest to God truth. If you ask the spirit world, they will come in, Lou, and they will help you. How many people will indeed be able to speak to someone on earth that are in the spirit world, right? Because their loved ones might not ever seek a medium. But if we're really loving them and allowing them to help, even from the other side, how amazing is the healing that we will receive?
I agree.
I
completely agree.
Because the healing, like you said, you brought up a good point, it's in both worlds. So the classes are either Wednesdays or Thursdays, depending on when you start. And
I think the next one coming up that starts next week is on Thursday evenings. Starts April 12th. And it's in the evening, 7 Central Standard, 8 Eastern Standard Time. If you're in a different time zone, you'll have to figure it out. But they are recorded. All the classes are recorded. So even if you have to miss, you don't really have to miss. And it's all posted in the classroom. Everything
is in the classroom. The handouts are in the classroom. And if you're not computer savvy, we don't have a problem going ahead and sending you the information. I think the beautiful part about this as well is if you are international and you're in a big time difference, we have created a self-study course, which you should look out for because we'll be launching soon. Now, the self-study course is not as interactive. I really love the interaction. But again, because we have requested, have a lot of requests from people that are international that can't do the time zones, we've created the self-study, and we're very excited about it. So we'll be launching that shortly. But again, you know, if you're looking to take that leap, our next class starts in April, in a week, right?
In a week, a little over a week. Yeah, a week from tomorrow.
Little over a week. We just happened to make this video now because we wanted to have one to give to people that are asking us, but it happens to be the class starts next week. And if you'd like to join, just because you're hearing this and you feel drawn, reach out to us. We'll provide the flyer. I will go ahead and put the flyer on here on the chat for you guys. And again, make sure that you're feeling guided and that you feel drawn. It's a wonderful course. And again, it is an 18-week course, and we go through the levels. And, you know, we'll just take it.
So the levels are, beginners is 4 weeks, intermediate is 6 weeks, advanced is 8 weeks. And if you have questions, you can always email Lillian or myself at SoulSideOutCourse@gmail.com.
Right. I'm very excited. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. And if you're not drawn to our course, please, if you're a developing medium, look out there to what works for you. Don't give up. Shine your light. Be your kind of beautiful. Don't ever let anybody take that away from you. Stay natural and stay true. Thank you, Lou. Love you.
Thank you. I look forward to working with you.
Love you. You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.